Hi everyone. I had a request from my movement class to tell a story. And so I have a few children's books in my house actually. And I chose for my first in this series a book given to me by Dr. Steenblick called A for Audra. Broadway's leading ladies from A to Z. And so I share this with you today. Can't wait to share this with you. A is for Audra, whose awes and amazes, with each line and note, all the critics sing praises. There she is, the queen. B is for Barbara, and Barbara too, both versatile vocalists equaled by few. That's Barbara Streisand and Barbara Cook, if you didn't know. C's for Christine's crystal clear intonations, for which she's won Tonys and standing ovations. This is Christine Ebersole in Grey Gardens. You might also know her from Warpaint, 42nd Street, and the 1990s movie Richie Rich. D is for Dolly, that devious dame played by Carol, Pearl, and Bet, and too many to name. Here's my queen, people. E is for Elaine, whose delivery delights and who often perform wearing little but tights. Yes, if you have not seen Elaine Stritch at Liberty, please, please, please find it and watch it. It's wonderful, amazing. She's the queen. She's hilarious. It's who I am in 50 years. F is for Fosse, whose dazzling dancing made these triple threats feisty, fierce, and entrancing. So here we have Gwen Verdon and Anne Ranking as Roxy and Velma, and then Bebe Neuwirth and Cheetah Rivera as Velma and Roxy here in Chicago. Cheetah. G is for Gertrude, whose greatest success was a king-teaching tutor who dressed to impress. This is Gertrude Lawrence as Anna in The King and I. H is the heavenly Miss Heather Headley, whose turn as Aida was daring and deadly. It's kind of gross. I is for Indina, whose vocals you'll know from Wicked or Rent or from Letting It Go. Yeah, look at that. She looks like she's going to kill someone. You better. J is for Julie's sweet, silvery soprano, as bright as a bell and pure as piano. This is Julie Andrews as Eliza Doolittle. K is for Kristen, whose range stupefies in spite of her small, less than 5 foot tall size. Yeah, this is her in on the 20th century. But also, this might be Glinda. It's a little bit of a... Oh, this is on the 20th century. I was right. But she arrives in Wicked the same exact way. On all her luggage. Here we go. L is for Leia, the voice of Mulan, who broke Broadway's hearts as the first Miss Saigon. Let's see. My lighting is bad in here. Yeah. Oh, look at her. M's Mary Martin, whose vibrance and verve gave Peter his pluck and Maria her nerve. She was the first Maria on Broadway and Sound of Music. N's for Nell Carter, who had Broadway Raven when she crooned Fats Waller in Ain't Misbehavin'. She was also in like the 92 or 96 revival, I can't remember, of Annie, and she was Miss Hannigan. And it was friggin' brilliant. O is the outstanding Miss Kelly O'Hara as Nellie Francesca, Mrs. Anna, or Clara. Yeah, and here she is in South Pacific, the honey bun. Do we even have to say it? P is for Patty, whose belt, big and brassy, made Ava so mighty and Rena so sassy. Look at her, the queen. Speaking of queens, Q is for Broadway's unquestionable queen, a glamorous goddess on stage and screen. She's brilliant and bold and has talent in meters. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernadette Peters. And here she is from Into the Woods. Now I have to say, when B came up and B was not for Bernadette, I was a little upset. But then I read on, and here she is, Q for Queen. A better letter, I think. R is for Rose. Broadway's maddest of mothers in show-stopping turns by Miss Merman and others. And here they have, let's see, Ethel Merman, Angela Lansbury, Tyne Daly, Bernadette Peters, Patti LuPone. Yeah, can you see them all? All the roses. S is for Sawton, whose singing and tapping keeps spectators chanting and cheering and clapping. It's also for Sondheim, who wrote these plum parts from women with substance, with strength, and with smarts. So there's Joanna Gleason up there as the baker's wife, and here's Donna Murphy as Fosca in Passion. And let's see, who's this? I don't know her by. This is, oh, Alexis Smith in Follies, yes. And down here, Phyllis Roger Stone, also Follies. And Glynis Johns, yes. Oh, sorry, this might be Glynis Johns right here. This must be Glynis Johns. And we know who that is. Angela. Angela, right there. T is for Tanya, whose Titanic range includes Jelly's Last Jam and Caroline or Change. U is for Miss Uggams, whose charm is contagious each time she bursts out on the Great White Way's stages. Also, you might know Leslie Uggams from that awesome video of her singing on the lawn, and she says, June is busting out all over the meadows and the hills, with the rustles and the beepers and the fleepers and the jeepers and the mana on the fence. Literally, she sings it like that. Please look it up. It's wonderful. It's hilarious. It is just live performance at its best. V is for Victoria, whose voice operatic makes any score soar, with light, whether light or dramatic. And here she is in Light in the Piazza. W is the wondrous Miss Lilias White, whose riffs and runs and scats sound so wonderfully right. Sorry, here she is. She's in in Fila here, but we also know her from Dreamgirls. Sorry. This is my favorite page, X and Y. These divas are dynamos, and you should know them. But didn't fit anywhere else in this poem. So here are some extra exceptional names of the exalted, exciting, and excellent dames. So here is Fanny Bryce, Marin Miller, Sophie Tucker, Ethel Waters, Judy Holliday, Carol Burnett, Diane Carroll, B. Arthur, Barbara Harris, Lauren Bacall, Donna McKegney, Stephanie Mills, Andrea McCardle, Dorothy Loudon, Madeline Kahn, Jennifer Holliday, Betty Buckley, Lori Beachman, Judy Kuhn, Rebecca Luker, Glenn Close, Marin Maisie. Bless. Vanessa Williams, LaShans, Laura Benanti, Alice Ripley, Patina Miller, Laura Osnes, Jesse Mueller, Renee Elise Goldsberry, Jasmine Cephas Jones, and Philippa Sue, all on this page. You know who's last, and if you don't, take a guess. Z is for Liza with a Z, and not an S. And here she is, and Liza with a Z. And that's it. That's it. Liza, Audra to Liza. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for encouraging me to read this. I love this book. Thanks to Dr. Steenblick for giving it to me for Christmas. It's one of my favorites. And I really hope you're all hanging in there. I love you big.